nsi yonna okutwaliza awamu okunnokugatta n'amawulire agafa mu sekita ez'enjawulo. Tugoberere ku YouTube, Facebook, Twitter ne TikTok. Mega Promotions TV. Oyagala okumanya ebifa mu nsi nga bw'etambula? Biki ebifa ku serebu wo, ebisanyusa wamu n'ebikuzinga? Oyagala okumanya ebifa mu entertainment industry mu nsi yonna okutwaliza awamu okunnokugatta n'amawulire agafa mu sekita ez'enjawulo? Tugoberere ku YouTube, Facebook, Twitter ne TikTok. Mega Promotions TV. Oyagala okumanya ebifa mu nsi nga bw'etambula? Biki ebifa ku serebu wo?
The rebel leader also has announced his intention to strengthen the local administrative control by creating people's committees to administer justice, combat corruption, and above all, to serve as a political forum for local and national issues. The U.S. Embassy in Kampala reported that Museveni had difficult pressurizing senior officers of his own National Resistance Army (NRA) to continue peace negotiations in Nairobi, as some of them initially insisted that the war be pursued. A senior official in Okello Lutwa's government told the U.S. Embassy that after a code was signed, Museveni still had trouble finding it to some of his senior military commanders. Museveni may have some difficulty pursuing his commanders and that the agreement was in the NRA interest. Through the authority of Kampala on 24th January suggested that Museveni may simply have floated stories of the internal NRM to disguise troops movements and other preparation for the attacks on the capital. We believe it likely that some of his hardliners are urging him to begin immediately to subject Uganda's northern Nilotics tribes, which are widely resented for their lawful treatments of Bantu South for past 20 years. We believe that despite the pressure to move quickly against the North, Museveni will strive first to consolidate control over the South, devoting some months to his task. We expect that following factors will make Museveni conscious. 1. The NRM totals no more than 6,000 trained soldiers, according to the senior U.S. officials in Kampala, and the National Resistance Army soldiers with a combat experience number only way about 3,500. The Okello's army of the Northerners probably number in thousands and thought indisciplined and ill-trained would be fighting home tribe areas. Number 2, unlike Okello, Obote, and Amin, each of whom was a northerner trying to exercise control over the country, whose natural resources, population centers, and seats of the government lies in the south. Museveni and the vast majority of his followers are Southerners, and they do not have subdue hostile tribes territory to seize the national political and economic power. 3. Museveni's leadership of the 5-year-old insurgency suggests to use that they understand the political and military benefits of the patience. He moved slowly and deliberately expanded and consolidated his wealth. Bintu nga bingi tunabimalako kweli. Nabimalako kweli sazizuze mmeka. Emwasa tumuta okay. Katukoseze ne dakika 5 zisigaddeyo. Kati kampita mwana wali points in echi points ezili crucial nnyo kubanga bwe naga nti ngenda kusoma byonna nga bibiri nizo butabimalayo. Kati katusome mwana wali top points. In the sum we believe that Uganda is in a practice like to become partitioned state, and that Museveni's control over much of the north is opt to be normal at the best. Eventually, however, we believe Museveni will move to assert his authority over the entire country, triggering the majority violence, perhaps a full-scale civil war. In our view, northern attacks on the southern installation or northern efforts to court foreign assistance would imply Museveni to escalate the campaign against the northerners. Museveni's domestic program, aside of consolidating power, believe Museveni top domestic priority would be economic reconstruction and development. In a letter to senior US officials in September 1984, Museveni stressed the need to achieve an economic base to finance the programs to eliminate diseases, and illiteracy. Museveni's book and his public pronounce meant since taking power echo those themes. He claimed publicly that last November that he was establishing an interim administration in the Southern West in order to provide essential social services. Museveni's administration has worked effectively, report. Museveni, however, has inherited an economy in a shambles, according to US Embassy reporting. In December 1985, the Okello government had less than a month worth of foreign exchange reserve. The unofficial exchange rate of the approximate of 2,400 Ugandan shillings to the dollar was almost 3 times the official rate, and both imports and exports were at standstill. Donor assistance had come to a halt as public disorder and lawlessness, such of it committed by Okello's army against the civilian population, stopped foreign aid and prompted most foreign ethnical advisors to leave. We believe it will take several years before Museveni can restore even basic social service to match the country. Given Uganda's economic straits, Museveni's probably will seek economic assistance from almost any outside source. Kati yagamba tayagala buyambi kuva mu nsi za njawulo. Kati wanawulira bulungi nnyo. In our judgment, Museveni is like to be generally programmatic in dealing with Uganda's serious economic problems. Through formal and advocate of maximizing as a student at the University of Dar es Salaam in Tanzania in the late 60s, Museveni has moderated his view over the years and has not publicly identified the NRM with any ideology. Museveni advocates for mixed economy for Uganda and stresses in his book the importance of the countries becoming economically self-sufficient, saying we thought not to care whether this is done by the capitalist or socialist means as long as it is done. Wala nnyo katugendeko eno wali many points. A logical patent in the political inclination of NRM soldiers in the field. In the political arena, we believe Museveni probably will try to make good on his repeated play to push those guilty of human rights violation and human violation. He and his associates have long been adamant that the guilty individuals from the Amins and Obote's area, as well as from Okello's government, should pay for their crimes. Museveni's NRM has consistently displayed discipline and restraint compared to Okello army, which has routinely preyed on the population. According to the US Embassy in Kampala, the responsible conduct of Museveni's forces has increased in their popularity in the areas under NRM control. Museveni also probably believed that his emphasis on human rights will boost his standing with donors, countries making economic assistance more likely. Even with his best intentions, however, significant human rights abuse probably will continue, especially in the settling of old tribes scores. Museveni's foreign policy. Museveni probably will pursue an active foreign policy that is Museveni's foreign policy. Museveni probably would pursue an active foreign policy. In our view, we believe that Museveni, at least initially, he will be open to dialogue with almost any state in the hope of assistance for his government. Museveni explicitly stated in his book that we should always maintain independence line in economics. Mpita mbuyisi ziri factors kuba ebintu bingi nnyo tosobola kubisoma, naye wano wongenda kulemerawokko buli dakika 15 okandemerewokko. Biographic sketch of his senior NRM personalities. Biographic sketch of senior NRM personalities. Elia Kategaya, Museveni's second in command, often point of contact for Western officials and journalists. A lawyer with moderate political belief, like Museveni and Ankore. Alhaji Moses Chigongo, Chief Administrator of National Resistance Movement, the interim Southwest Administration. A Muganda, no, this is a Munyarwanda, call himself a Muganda Muslim, successfully parliamentary candidate for Museveni's Uganda's Patriotic Movement UPM in 1980 elections. Loyalty unquestioned. Dr. Samson Chiseka, a Muganda in his sensitive, who became NRM interim coordinator, Museveni's main advisor on political affairs. In June 1985, a medical doctor served in First Obote's government as Healthy Works Ministry from 1964 to 1996. Matthew Luchikaire, a politically active since the early of 1960s, when he was forced out of Bote, a Ugandan People's Congress, because of his crashes with the party. Radical Youth Wing, chairman of NRM Nairobi-based Foreign Relations Committee from 1982 to 1966. Okay. Tugenze ku Ali Kirunda Kiveirinda, Finance Commissioner in Museveni's interim Southwest Administration, a long-standing radical leftist with whom Soviet and Chinese ties, and successfully UPM parliamentary candidate in 1980s. Amsoga, a Muslim. Johnny Kazora, able lawyer and wealthy businessman related to Museveni's by marriage, NRM political advisor for years. Pro West spent most of his 1970s in Nairobi and London and Ankore. Politics, culture, and foreign relations, we should judge friends for according to how they relate our own interest, irrespectively of the social systems obtaining the various countries. The only countries with which Museveni has stated he will not deal are South Africa and Israel. Museveni is opted to be especially active in regional affairs during the later half of 1985. He cultivated relations with Uganda's neighbors, Kenya, Tanzania, Zaire, and Rwanda, Burundi. Museveni does not appear to have close ties to any Western states except perhaps Sweden, where he sent his wife and children in 1984 for security reasons. His relationship with British have been particularly poor. The United States Embassy report that in his first meeting with a senior British diplomat after taking power, Museveni was sharply critical of the United Kingdom's silence about human rights violation of the previous governments. Banda Uganda bagenda ne bekalakase Bungereza buli lunako government y'Omungereza ng'esirise kano kabadde kakulu nnyo. Twekalakasa buli lunaku ne kulwokutana abakomedi gye bali bagenda kwekalakasa, naye gavumenti ya Bungereza ekoze esirise. Kati nno bakugamba nti None bagambye bati nti the US Embassy reports that in his first meeting with the senior British diplomat after taking power, Museveni was sharply critical of the United Kingdom's silence about human rights violations of the previous Ugandan government. Twekalakaasa buli lunaku akabusajja n'obukazi tebufaayo. Nono kyekintu kyekimu mbu yalajananga Obote Amini mbu batulugunya abantu nga bwengeza tefaayo. Ndozo kitegedde. Alright, since the mid-1980s, Museveni has made the modest effort to build a bridge to the United States. In addition to the letter that he wrote to the senior US officials in 1984, Museveni dispatched an emissary to the US Embassy in Nairobi in August 1985 to seek a military and economic assistance. As senior NRM officials have thought of appointments with the US officials, the US maintained that Museveni wanted to forge a close relationship with the United States, and we believe other NRM representatives probably will echo this theme in the discussion with the US officials. Museveni initially meeting with the US ambassador in Kampala after taking power was friendly and productive, but we have no clear, sustained evidence that Museveni wants a close relationship with the United States, and we believe it is likely that Museveni's view with the United States is more donor than friends. Sigadde dakika mmeka? Sigadde dakika 8 simanyi bannabumalayo buno. Kale kansomemu zino details enkulu. Museveni had at least contact with the Libyans for at least the last 5 years. In 1981, he successfully approached the United States, the United Kingdom, and Kenya for military assistance, according to the senior US officials. He then turned to Libya, receiving modest military assistance through the 1980s when the Libyans suspended the assistance through when the Libya suspends aid, perhaps after deciding that Museveni was not making through progress. The Libyans apparently renewed assistance to Museveni in the late 1895. In our judgment, Museveni probably regarded Libya assistance as a temporary support. Museveni is wary of Libya's connection with Uganda's Muslim North and followers of the former President Idi Amin Gaddafi. Provided substantial assistance of Amini's government, and in our view, Museveni probably distrusted the Libyan leader, who probably betrayed dictator that abused Museveni and the Bantu in the south, and whose once suspended the aid to NRM. Implications of the United States and the West A full-scale civil war in Uganda would have several negative consequences for the friends of the United States in the neighboring states. Ugandan refugees probably would pour into Kenya, Zaire, and South Sudan, pressing additional economic and political strains to those countries and generating substantial aid requests from them to the United States and other friendly donors. Diplomatic representatives in Kampala from Kenya, Zaire, Sudan, and Egypt have already approached the United States ambassador here to express their profound concern about Uganda's instability and their fear that Libya, Soviet, or Ethiopia influence will take roof if Uganda fails to achieve the internal peace. We believe that in close struggle, either the NRA or the West. Kandoza neringa close remarks mu kintu kino. The Nilo troops could be tempted to grant Libya the significant influence in Uganda in exchange for support on the battlefield. Such a Libyan presence could be exploited by the Gaddafi to increase his harassment of Zairean President Mobutu and to pressure Kenyan President Daniel Arap Moi and smaller region states like Burundi, Rwanda. In our view, the Soviet or Ethiopia middling is less likely, but either the country could be attempted to use Uganda as a platform from which undermining the stability of Zaire and Kenya. We believe Museveni will try to convince the United States and other Western countries that the government represent a distant improvement over human rights record of his procedures, his failure to achieve the administrative such improvements not only would undermine the administrative from within, but would also almost certain endanger the Western assistance, eventually all of which has been suspended in the wake of Uganda's unsettled security situation and its patent of flagrant human rights violation. If Museveni judge that the West is not being responsive to the efforts, we believe he will not hesitate to quote additional Libyan Soviet or other radical support for his government. We believe Museveni would respond to any approach that combine intellectuals appeal with respect for his personal integrity and past achievement and power. He will have to be convinced that offers of helping are not based on assumption that he can be bought. Alipooti eno bwetyo bwekoma, naye alipooti eno erina ebintu ebire batasobola kuta bonga bo bali besigaliza kyenjagadde osooka okutegeeza. Alipooti eno bonga bo abagikola tebasobola kujjayo ebintu byonna bikuwa bulungi nga bw'obyagala, tebasobola bikuwa. Ne mbufunze eyo alipooti nga bw'ogiraba. So ngezezaako gibasomera yonna tekibadde kyangu yonna nga bw'ogiraba bwetyo. So kansule nti mu byowulidde ebyafaayo bwe bibadde bw'ogenda obikubaganyaamu ebibadde byonna Museveni byadde ajja akola, ebyokulonda ebibaddewo, engeri gy'akyunyaamu abantu, engeri ate gye lyamu olibbi olukwe kubanga yamanya anaye omusajja Museveni mubi. Naye twongere nnyo okusaba n'okulwana ennyo, otherwise ekintu kye tulwana tuba tetukimanyi. Ye tabeeranga okwagala kulonda, takwagalanga tekubeerangawo. Era abazungu bamuteekako ekyokuteekawo kulonda, takwagalangako. Ebikolwa bye byazaakola bonna abadde abimanyi bulungi era nga biri calculated bulungi nnyo, abimanyi. N'ekirala nga bwe nagamba nti ye asobola okukola ekintu kyonna ekimubeezaawo kasita aba ng'ali mu buyinza. Yajja aseetinze Abaganda ng'abatadde buli wamu. Bwe yamala okutereeza ekintu kye n'abajjawo bonna kati azizaawo bantu be. Kye yakaayanako bali kye baali bakola mu gavumenti ziri kati kyazizaawo. Naye ate ye mu kujja yasooka kucunya bali abaali mu gavumenti ziri n'abacunya n'abakola. Kati bw'osoma lipooti eno ekulaga lwaki yatondawo Koni, lwaki yatondawo Lakwena, lwaki yateekawo M23, lwaki ataddewo ADF, ng'agezaako nnyo okwekuumira mu kintu kino nga ajjamu bonna bandi basuli basobola omuyeekera n'okukola bino byonna ebikolwa by'ekiyeekera ne byakyakola e Sudan, lipooti zonna ezafulumye byeyakola e Rwanda. Lipooti eno ekunyumira bulungi nnyo. Museveni yaani? Museveni musajja mubi nnyo. Kati gwakyamusindikira ebinnyo ng'ebyafaayo tobimanyi, onaye nkusaasidde. Akatambi kawedde tujja kusinkana olunaku lwa nkya. Mweraba.
Oyagala okumanya ebifo mu nsi nga bw'etambula, biki ebifa ku sereebu wo, ebisanyusa wamu n'ebikuzimba? Oyagala okumanya ebifa mu entertainment industry mu nsi yonna, okutwaliza awamu, okunnoka ogatta n'amawulire agafa mu sekita ez'enjawulo? Tugoberere ku YouTube, Facebook, Twitter ne TikTok. Mega Promotions TV. Oyagala okumanya ebifo mu nsi nga bw'etambula, biki ebifa ku sereebu wo, ebisanyusa wamu n'ebikuzimba? Oyagala okumanya ebifa mu entertainment industry mu nsi yonna, okutwaliza awamu, okunnoka ogatta n'amawulire agafa mu sekita ez'enjawulo? Tugoberere ku YouTube, Facebook, Twitter ne TikTok. Mega Promotions TV. Oyagala okumanya ebifo mu nsi nga bw'etambula, biki ebifa ku sereebu wo, ebisanyusa wamu n'ebikuzimba? Oyagala okumanya ebifa mu entertainment industry mu nsi yonna, okutwaliza awamu, okunnoka ogatta n'amawulire agafa mu sekita ez'enjawulo? Tugoberere ku YouTube, Facebook, Twitter ne TikTok. Mega Promotions TV. Oyagala okumanya ebifo mu nsi nga bw'etambula, biki ebifa ku sereebu wo, ebisanyusa wamu n'ebikuzimba? Oyagala okumanya ebifa mu entertainment industry mu nsi yonna, okutwaliza awamu, okunnoka ogatta n'amawulire agafa mu sekita ez'enjawulo? Tugoberere ku YouTube, Facebook, Twitter ne TikTok. Mega Promotions TV. Oyagala okumanya ebifo mu nsi nga bw'etambula, biki ebifa ku sereebu wo, ebisanyusa wamu n'ebikuzimba? Oyagala okumanya ebifa mu entertainment industry mu nsi yonna, okutwaliza awamu, okunnoka ogatta n'amawulire agafa mu sekita ez'enjawulo? Tugoberere ku YouTube, Facebook, Twitter ne TikTok. Mega Promotions TV. Oyagala okumanya ebifo mu nsi nga bw'etambula, biki ebifa ku sereebu wo, ebisanyusa wamu n'ebikuzimba? Oyagala okumanya ebifa mu entertainment